September 25th, 2025. We are going to begin our meeting by recognizing some special folks and or organizations who have contributed to the city of Miami, and we would like to honor them for their service. I'm going to begin with my colleague, Commissioner Miguel Angel Gabela. It is World Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And that is such a, our country, our nation, are making such big strides in preventative measures for Alzheimer's and dementia, and prayerfully soon we are walking upon a cure. So would you like to?
So, like the chairwoman said, this is the in recognition of the World Alzheimer's Awareness Month. Would you please come up? Who's going to get the award? We want to thank you for what you do and the efforts that are put in for the research.
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank Commissioner Rosado for sponsoring this measure, and obviously Commissioner Christine King and the rest of the commission. The Alzheimer's Association has made a real effort to partner with the county and various municipalities in Miami-Dade County this past year, because we have the very unfortunate reality that Miami-Dade County has the highest prevalence of Alzheimer's disease in the entire country. I'm going to say that again because it's really horrific. Miami-Dade County has the highest prevalence of Alzheimer's disease in the entire country. And so this is a silent epidemic that, as stark as we know the journey can be, it's personal. I walked the journey with my mom for 9 years until she passed in 2017. I'm also a former owner-operator of an assisted living facility. So while I know the personal, I also know the economic impact. And we have hope. As Commissioner King has said, we now have 3 treatments that are on the market that can help stave off some of the worst effects of the disease for a period of time, and yet it is only eligible for patients that are diagnosed early. And so hence the effort to partner with cities like the city of Miami to ensure that we bring awareness and education, because it's all going to be about early diagnosis and being able to access those treatments. And then the second, I think, opportunity for hope is the reality that science has shown us that 40% of our risk factor can be reduced if we make the right decisions in our 20s, 30s, and 40s. And more importantly, we can be proactive and do that of our own accord. So I hope that with this proclamation, we can count on your support on the commission and with the city manager. We'd love to, at the Alzheimer's Association, bring those early diagnosis and education and awareness, and hopefully we can also kick off a City of Miami team to lead the walk to end Alzheimer's. So thank you so much. We really appreciate your support.
One of the first things that I did when I got elected in 2021 was me and my team, and at the time, my sergeant at arms, who's since retired, we did the Alzheimer's walk. We had our purple shirts, and I manage in my district, there are a lot of senior programs, and I would love for you, your organization, to come out to speak to them about the early signs of Alzheimer's and what can be done. I would love that. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Gloria. This is something that's very personal, I think, to many of us. This is something that my grandmother, my beloved grandmother, dealt with for over a decade. My mom is actually in the audience today, so I know how she's feeling right now. And so it's something that affects us all, and I'm glad that my colleagues all support this. And thank you for the work that you and the association are doing to help address this horrible, horrible disease. Thank you.
10 Ways to Love Your Brain. Look it up. Alzheimer's Association. 10 Ways to Love Your Brain. Our next proclamation.
Thank you, Chairwoman. So this next one is for a very, very special family, and I'd love it if they would join us up here. This is in recognition of the life and labor of Jorge Monteagudo. Jorge is a Cuban immigrant who he passed away a few years ago, so we're being joined by Amneris Monteagudo. Actually, my mom should join us for this as well, because they are very, very good friends. And Jorge founded George's Pharmacy 53 years ago in the city of Miami. It is still very much up and running at the corner of 17th Avenue and Coral Way. It is actually one of our oldest, longest running businesses in the city of Miami of any kind. And it is an incredible business, not only successful for what it's done financially, but for the sheer number of people that it's helped in the community. Jorge had the heart of somebody who just never says no to anyone. And so if you could not afford the medication, he would make sure you got that medication for free if you really needed it. He went on international missions. He helped a number of local organizations for over 50 years. So we want to honor his memory and thank his family for everything he did, not just to make that corner of our community successful, but for everything he did internationally to help in regards to healthcare and his generosity. So you've got Amneris, I don't know if you'd like to say a little something.
I want to thank the commission, your Commissioner Rosado and all the city commissioners for this great honor. Jorge's Pharmacy will keep serving the community as we have done for the past 52 years. Thank you all.
Absolutely. All right, if we could have State Senator Ileana Garcia and State Representative Alex Rizzo join us. So this year in Tallahassee, the session was very challenging for the city. Unfortunately, we didn't get everything that we wanted to be able to get. But thanks to them, we did get one very important appropriation, and that is $1 million to help feed senior citizens in the western part of the city of Miami. $1 million. These two work tirelessly for our community, for their entire districts and beyond, because this is actually not Representative Rizzo's district, but he wanted to make sure to go to bat for the city. We could not thank you more for the work that you do for us. You are always accessible to us 24/7, 365. Thank you for working nonstop to help make the city of Miami and Miami-Dade County so much better. And that is going to feed a lot of seniors in the city of Miami. Thank you guys so much.
Well, this is a part of my district, and this is so important for me. My grandmother always says, as you see me, you shall see yourself. So as I was mentioning to several people that we were speaking with here today, the best thing that you can possibly do for yourself is set a precedent of what you would like things to be like when it's your turn. And I think that this is the least that we can do for such a wonderful community that has made the city of Miami what it is today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So just to be clear, thank you, Commissioner Rosado, for those words. Just to be clear, Badia Center is not in my district. However, about 50% of my district does comprise the city of Miami. And so it's an honor for me to do so. It's an honor for me to commit to the city of Miami. Many people refer to me as the representative from Hialeah. That is my hometown. However, I'm very proud to represent the great people of Miami as well, along with the senator. And so this is a legacy project. This was something that in the name and memory of Manolo Reyes, God rest his soul, this is something that we began. And this isn't the first appropriation for Badia Center. It won't be the last. We will continue to fight for it. And also, even though, Commissioner, you're right, this is the only appropriation that the city of Miami was the sponsor of, along with the senator and myself up in the legislature. Speaking for myself, I know the senator has a lot more in appropriations. My total appropriations that are housed within the confines of the city of Miami total just under $6.5 million, all for the residents of the city of Miami. So thank you for that. And so without further ado, Senator Garcia and myself would like to present the city of Miami and all of you this check for $1 million.
Thank you both so much.
And at this time, we are going to begin the meeting with prayer. We are honored today a leader of the Universal Society of Hinduism. How do you say? Rajan Led Zed. Yes.
I shall be reading from ancient Hindu scriptures, some as old as 1500 BCE in Sanskrit, then interpret in English. Om Bhur-bhuvah svah tat savitur-varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi diyo yona prachodayat. We meditate on the transcendental glory of the Deity Supreme, who's inside the heart of the earth, inside the life of the sky, and inside the soul of the heaven. May He stimulate and illuminate our minds. Astoma Sadgamya तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गम्य मृत्योर्ममृतम गम्य. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. तस्मादा सक्ता स्तातम कर्म कर्म समाचारा सक्तो ह्याचरण कर्म ब्रह्म पनौति पुरुषा कर्म नैवा ही समसिद्धि मस्तिता जनकादया लोका से ग्रहा मेवापि संपाशंकर तुम रहासी. Strive constantly to serve the welfare of the world. By devotion to selfless, one attains the supreme goal of life. Do your work with the welfare of others always in mind. Om Saha Navavatu, Saha Navunaktu, Saha Viryan Karba Bahai, Tejasvi Nava Dita Mastu, Ma Vidvisa Bahai. May we be protected together, may we be nourished together, may we work together with great vigor, may our study be enlightening, may no obstacle arise between us. Samni va akuti, samna hirdayani va, samna mastu vo mano, yatha va susa hasti. United your resolve, united your hearts, may your spirits be at one, that you may long together dwell in unity and concord. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Om. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, thank you so much. At this time, Mr. City Attorney, would you please read your statement?
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you. Good morning. Detailed information, George Weissong, City Attorney, City of Miami. Detailed information about the processes, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code, a copy of which is available online at www.municode.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the City Clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available in the City Clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of this City Code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 2-33F and G of the City Code, the agenda and material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. The meeting of the Miami City Commission is a limited public forum. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 10 a.m. and remain open until public comment is closed by the chairperson. Any person making offensive remarks or becomes unruly in the commission chambers will be barred from further attending City Commission meetings and may be subject to arrest. No clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support or opposition to a speaker or his or her remarks shall be permitted. No signs or placards shall be allowed in the commission chambers. Persons exiting the commission chambers shall do so quietly. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to the elected officials, their staff, and city administration throughout the day so that the elected officials may consider the comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to the elected officials, their staff, and city administration up until the chairperson closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided here live at City Hall, located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to any and all city rules as they may be amended. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the City Clerk. The City has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in compliance with Section 286.0114 4C Florida statutes. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity in time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by staff, city staff, and the City Attorney's Office on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of any item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. For planning and zoning, PZ items shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. Parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, and any person recognized by the decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as the applicant's representatives and any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellant, or appellee may be physically present at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the City Clerk. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications to remove the presumption of prejudice pursuant to Florida Statute 286.0115 and Section 7.1.4.5 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and in the City Code. Staff will briefly present each item to be heard. The applicant will present its application or request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to an evidentiary hearing on the record. For appeals, the appellant will present its appeal to the City Commission, followed by the appellee. Staff will be allowed to make any recommendation they may have. Please silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Mr. City Clerk, would you please read your statement?
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals who are providing testimony to be sworn in for planning and zoning items and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of city staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the City Clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and or quasi-judicial items. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all the notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules of procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes,
And Chair, may I administer the oath for the planning and zoning items?
please.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you will be speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, the PZ items, may I please have you stand and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give at today's hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And your response is? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. City Clerk. Mr. City Manager, are there any items on this agenda that will be withdrawn or deferred at this time?
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Mr. City Attorney, Mr. City Clerk. At this time, the administration would like to defer and or withdraw the following items. CA2 to be indefinitely deferred. PH2 to be deferred to October 23rd. RE1 to be withdrawn. RE3 to be deferred to the October 9th meeting. RE9 to be indefinitely deferred. DI1 to be deferred to October 23rd. DI3 to be withdrawn. DI4 to be withdrawn. PZ1 to be deferred to October 23rd. PZ4 to be indefinitely deferred. And PZ5 to be indefinitely deferred. That concludes the items. CA2 to be indefinitely deferred. PH2 to be deferred to October 23rd. RE1 to be withdrawn. RE3 to be deferred to October 9th. RE9 to be indefinitely deferred. DI1 to be deferred to October 23rd. DI3 to be withdrawn. DI4 to be withdrawn. PZ1 to be deferred to October 23rd. PZ4 to be indefinitely deferred. And PZ5 to be indefinitely deferred.
Gentlemen, are there any items on this agenda that you would like to have withdrawn or deferred? Commissioner Pardo? Commissioner Gabella?
For discussion or?
No,
deferred?
just for withdrawn or deferred.
No, not right now.
Vice Chair?
Thank you, Chair. For the record, Commissioner Rosado will be co-sponsoring RE16, SR1, and SR3. Additionally, there are two pocket items. The first pocket item is a resolution adding the Carrie P. Meeks Senior Center and Cultural Center to the list of early voting sites to be used for the November 4th general election and, if required, December 9th runoff election. The other pocket item is a resolution waiving the private property limitation for special events, Reserve Padel special event.
Thank you. I believe, Commissioner Rosado, I was checking with you to see if you had any items that you would like to withdraw or defer.
I do not.
May I have a motion to set the agenda?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this point, I am going to open the floor for public comment. You may speak on any item that is here. Any item on the agenda that is before us today, please limit the lines to 5. I believe our fire department is walking up already to advise. And when you come up, please state your name and the item for which you are speaking. JC and Carlos Corbello, but is that true? Because Mark's on off. Good morning, Elvis. How are you today?
Good morning. Elvis Cruz, 631 Northeast 57th Street, PH3, the Olympia Theater. Will today go down in Miami history as the day you enabled more of the city's dysfunctionality or the day you did the right thing? Over my 45 years of civic activism, I've learned that the city of Miami loves to do things for its own comfort and convenience, even if it causes the public's discomfort and inconvenience. The city's default position is inaction, and for 50 years, the city has done the wrong thing. They tell us that they are incapable of restoring and maintaining the Olympia, yet a charter school can? Are they smarter than us? We have a capital budget of $1.7 billion. We have TDRs, and we can get historic preservation grants, yet somehow a school can afford the restoration, but we can't? Of course we can. You just got to hire the capable people. We should be setting an example for all our residents to maintain their property. Commissioner Pardo and all of you, this is your chance to be the hero, to change the city's long, horrible habit of deferred maintenance, which is really a euphemism for demolition by neglect, which the city did with the Miami Baseball Stadium, the Orange Bowl, and the Miami Marine Stadium. Imagine if a child told their parents, "Mom, Dad, I'm not good at math, so you shouldn't make me take algebra. You should preserve and protect this precious asset instead of seeing it as a liability to be disposed of." What do you want your legacy to be? Commissioners, as Winston Churchill said, it is not enough that we do our best. Sometimes we have to do what's required. Please do the right thing. Don't sell the Olympia Theater. Please restore it. Lastly, for item CA5, please do not accept the big billboard. Please have it demolished. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a note, please do not address any of the commissioners individually by their names. Side note. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't realize that was a no-no. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
John Dolson, 4205 Lennox Drive, Coconut Grove, Florida. It's too easy to stand up here and be cynical about the Olympia Theater deal. It's far too easy. People here have, we've got plenty of reason to be cynical in the past about many decisions that have been made. That's just a given. But this is a good deal. This is $50 million of private money going in with a vested interest by a school to restore that theater and bring it back to life. We don't need Coconut Grove Playhouse 2. We need solutions, not complaints. The city has shown over and over and over it doesn't have the will, the manpower, or the capability to run a theater. It's a good deal. Make it happen today. On the Pam billboard, I totally agree. That's a monstrosity. Now, we just heard about this a couple days ago. Didn't even realize this solution was coming. Our commissioner for District 1 did not know that it was District 2 did not know that it was this deal was in place. Please put that off long enough to let the residents of our district look at that deal, talk it over, and decide if it's a good one for the city of Miami. Thanks a lot. Let's not be cynical today. Let's do the right thing.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair, Commissioners. Ken Russell, 3142 Ohio Street, Little Bahamas of Coconut Grove. I completely agree with Mr. Dolson, with Elvis Cruz about the Olympia Theater on PH3. Please do not sell it. Let's keep our jewel and asset.
Commissioner?
But I'm here to...
It was 1 for and 1 against. It was 1 against.
My mistake.
1 for.
I apologize.
Okay.
I agree with Elvis Cruz that we should keep it. But actually, I'm here to speak to you about SR2, the definition of a homestead property in order to preserve affordability. I agree with that wholeheartedly, and I applaud that. I'd like to see us go a little further. There is an ordinance that you can pass in the next month that will change senior citizens' homestead definitions for the next year and for here to come. By opting into an existing state program under statute, all seniors who qualify, who are homesteaded, can double the homestead exemption from $50,000 to $100,000. And this is for vulnerable homesteaded seniors, not for the wealthy. And for those who have owned their home for more than 25 years, you can eliminate their taxes in the city altogether by simply opting in by ordinance next month, presenting that to the county by December 1st, and your seniors will be really helped. This does not have a major impact, less than $2 million on the city budget overall, but it could help probably 3,000 to 4,000 seniors who have owned their homes. And their taxes have tripled over the last 25 years that they've owned that home, but they're on fixed income. So I've passed around a draft ordinance. The clerk has it as well, but of course your capable attorneys can put it together if there's a willing sponsor. This is one of those types of things that you could easily get universal sponsorship on because there's no downside. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Debbie Dolson, 4205 Lennox Drive, Coconut Grove. I'd like to speak about the Olympia Theater. The city has a lot of jobs, a lot of responsibilities, but managing and operating a theater is not one of them. It's failed as a steward of the Olympia Theater, and it's time to pass it on to an organization that will restore it, make it available to educate our children, and make it available to the public. Does the city have the funds or the will to restore or save this theater? No. If they did, we wouldn't be here. So vote yes on PH3. CA5, the Pam billboard. State Representative Vicki Lopez stood right here in this hall recently and spoke to the City Commission and informed you that this sign exceeds the state of Florida size regulations. It's too big. It's illegal. Are you willing to violate state laws and set a precedent for other districts, maybe even your own district, to have an oversized billboard? Because once this starts, it's going to spread. Downtown residents and District 2 Commissioner Pardo need to be included in the settlement discussions So please defer CA5 until all stakeholders have been heard, community meetings have been held, because the residents deserve a seat at the table. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is James Franklin, 12705 Southwest 114th Avenue, and I'm here to speak to RE15, the storm resolution. I was a hurricane forecaster at NHC for almost 20 years and a person who flew research missions for 17 years before that. And the resolution refers to proposed NOAA budget cuts, and I think it's important that people in harm's way from hurricanes stand up for the work that NOAA has done. Hurricane forecast errors have been cut, track errors in half over the last 25 years, and the intensity errors by a third. And much of that improvement was due to NOAA research. If the president's budget for NOAA goes into effect, NOAA research will be shut down. NOAA research will be shut down, and that will bring most of those improvements to a halt, starting pretty immediately. NOAA research flights with the Doppler radar would be shut down. By next year, certain important tools for the Hurricane Center would become unavailable. So I'm pleased to see this resolution, and I hope the commissioners will support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Andy Parrish, 3940 Main Highway. I'm completely opposed to these giant billboards going in downtown, even though I live in the Grove. I know almost all the neighbors who are immediately near that, where those billboards are going to be, or close to it. I've been coming down here for 40 years. There's only one commissioner here who will go unnamed who probably remembers me from coming down all those years. But the big change in the commission district is the amount of respect you give each other. It used to be, when I came down here, the commissioner whose district something was given not absolute respect, but his desires and wishes were deeply respected by his colleagues. And I don't think that always happens here. It's more like who gangs up against who. So that change, I'm going to make some predictions, which I've never done when I come down here. First of all, I think there's going to be a ballot referendum passed, strongermiami.org, which is going to be passed because we've already got half of the signatures needed to get it passed on the ballot for next year. It's going to provide 9 commission districts, and I think that will pass overwhelmingly. Then each of you will need 4 additional votes to have your way, which means you'll have to negotiate with each other respectfully. So I continue to predict, when this comes back on these billboards, if you pass this agreement today to settle this, it will come back before you, and it will require 4 additional commission votes to support the district commissioner, but I predict it will get all 9. And Mr. City Attorney, when they vote all 9 to repeal what you do today, if you pass these billboards, I strongly suggest in the settlement agreement you put that when it's canceled, that the billboard companies cannot appeal it, cannot get fees, cannot get cancellation payments. Put all that in the agreement so when this comes back and you guys vote it down, all 9 of you, it will be undone. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rick Madan. I reside at 2900 Northeast 7th Avenue. I want to quickly voice my support for a few important items on the agenda today. RE5, it's a great step towards greater accountability with the independent inspector general. RE9, I think, was deferred, so we'll skip that one. I also support RE16, the water taxi expansion, a great initiative that I hope includes an Edgewater stop to help our community with the traffic, so thank you for that. However, I'm here primarily to speak about the settlement with Perez Art Museum over its illegal billboard CA5. You know, this issue is more about than just a billboard. It's about whether our city laws apply to everyone equally. This settlement, which would allow a sign twice the legal size to remain, would set a dangerous precedent. It sends a message that a powerful organization can simply pay a fee to bypass our ordinances, undermining the very laws that are in place to protect our community's quality of life. The community has not had the time to weigh in on this. We deserve to be a part of the decision. As commissioners, you've all championed the preserving our waterfront. How can you vote in favor of a settlement that allows an illegal sign to continue blighting our city? With elections coming up in November, let's be clear that this vote will be a test of your commitment to transparency and holding the line on illegal development. The community is watching, and we will remember how you vote on this issue. I urge you to defer this item and give the public a chance to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Sandy Moise, 5910 Northeast 6th Court, Miami. I'm here today urging you to either vote no on PH3 or defer it. This item proposes to give away our historic and iconic Olympia Theater to Slam Foundation for just $10 via a shady no-bid arrangement made behind closed doors. From the beginning, this deal has raised more questions than answers, and the closer we look, the worse it gets. City officials have acted more like paid lobbyists than public servants, appearing on podcasts and social media to spin a narrative that simply doesn't hold up. Meanwhile, we, the residents, the true stakeholders, have been left in the dark and left behind. In May, we were told repairs to the Olympia would cost $30 million. Now, with no receipts, no engineering report, and no transparency, we're suddenly told the cost has ballooned to $77 million. The city's own appraisal of the property, even if one exists, has been yet to be made public. And the contract, it's filled with vague promises and loopholes, including no concrete plan for who will manage the Olympia Theater, what types of programming will be offered, or how the public will be meaningfully able to access it for 180 days out of the year. Let's talk about the Flagler District bid, which agreed to support the deal, but only if SLAM pays them up to $1 million a year. If that kind of money is available, why isn't the city keeping ownership of the theater and collecting that $1 million in revenue each year to benefit all taxpayers? And what about the Gusman heirs? How much are they or their foundation being paid through the settlement? And who's paying the settlement? Is it us taxpayers again? What happens to the public deed restrictions? Who receives the TDR development rights? And how will regular public school students, not just SLAM charter school kids, ever benefit from access to this historic cultural space? We're not any closer to answers or accountability than we were in July. What we are closer to is giving away one of Miami's greatest public treasures in a backroom deal that does not reflect the will or the best interests of the people. Don't discard the Olympia. Discard the officials who neglected and betrayed it. Our cultural soul deserves better than a backroom giveaway.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning, Chairwoman. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here to talk about 3 topics. Number 1 is CA5. I think most of the people already articulated. It's too big, too bright, illegal. I really encourage you guys to defer this because it's nonsense. Number 2 is RE5. About a month ago, Commissioner Pardo had a workshop, Partnering for Progress, and I have a chance to speak with Antonio G. Diaz. And I took a note of what he said. It's about eliminating corruption. It's about creating a culture of accountability where the rules apply to everyone with no exception. So I strongly support this RE5. And last but not least, I would like to congratulate the water taxi stop. I think will help in many fronts, especially in Edgewater, not only traffic, but security. So I really support your motion. Thank you.
Chair, my apologies. Can I have the speaker's name for the record, sir?
My name is Marcos Loureiro. I said at the beginning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Franklin Sermons. I'm the director of the Perez Art Museum, Miami, 1103 Biscayne Boulevard. I'm here in support of the proposed settlement regarding the PAM sign. PAM is more than a museum. It is a public square for ideas, a classroom without walls, and a gathering place that brings Miami together. The sign acts as a beacon as well as our digital canvas, allowing us to project, among other things, art for our community to enjoy. The sign revenue is not a luxury, it is essential. Without it, PAM cannot maintain the free access and outreach programs that make it truly the People's Museum. In each of your districts, here are the numbers of children reached just during the 2024-25 school year alone by our vibrant youth programs, not including our MDCPS PAM Student Pass and free Second Saturdays. District 1, 1,717. District 2, 1,252. District 3, 1,406. District 4, 1,399. District 5, 2,889. Every free program for a child, from the 3 to 5-year-olds at our PAM Storytime to the leaders of tomorrow who are heading off to college for the PAM Teen Arts Council, sparks curiosity that may one day turn into a career, an innovative entrepreneurial business, or a work of art that defines Miami on the world stage. We often speak of infrastructure in terms of roads and bridges, but cultural infrastructure is equally essential to a thriving city. Art is a cornerstone of sustainable development. It is what makes Miami not only livable, but lovable. And it is certainly one of the economic drivers of our growing downtown community. Our partnership with the city has always been strong. Please let today end with an agreement to move forward. Together, we are better together. Miami deserves a healthy art museum for all to enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. King. My name is Helena Maria Lim, and I'm an executive member of the DNA, but I will be speaking on my own capacity. I live at 253 Northwest 2nd Street, apartment 4008. My husband and myself moved in 2021 permanently from Manhattan, New York to Miami, and we bought an apartment on Biscayne Boulevard, a high-end downtown residential neighborhood overlooking Bayside Park and the Bay. I am appalled and very saddened with the sudden and increasingly appearance of enormous billboards that are slowly polluting our once beautiful, clear skyline. I sincerely trust that the commissioners and relevant city officials will take heed of the concerns by residents and halt the sale of downtown airspace before it is too late. Downtown Miami is a residential area. It's not touristic Times Square. As for the Olympic Theater, please save it and keep this historic building for cultural use. Thank you for the opportunity to address this forum.
Thank you. Good morning again.
Good morning. Good morning again, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, and Mr. Manager, State Representative Alex Rizzo, 601 West 43rd Place, Hialeah, Florida. I'm here to speak in support of PH3, the Olympia Theater. As a state representative, I have the responsibility of hearing, proffering bills, voting on things. But the other thing that we must do as state representatives, the only constitutional duty that we have is to pass a balanced budget. Many times, we're faced with very difficult decisions. Those decisions are what is wanted, what is needed. And you juxtapose that with how much money there is to meet all of those needs and wants. Every municipality in the state of Florida will soon, possibly and probably, be dealing with budget, I'm not going to say shortfalls, but tighter budgets, because citizens in the state of Florida want property tax reform. And as you know, that hits municipalities. I believe that that will pass. That is a stark reality. I believe that is coming. And that's something that every single person on this dais needs to take into consideration. The largest section of our budget is healthcare. The second largest is education. Way, 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 way down the list is cultural preservation. And it's not that we don't want to do it. Again, wants versus needs, and dealing with our citizens. I think this is a wonderful opportunity to not only preserve the Olympia, but also restore it. And I think that we should pass it and all support it. Everyone should support it, and I certainly commit to supporting it in any capacity that I can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm Christina Palomo. I reside at 244 Biscayne Boulevard, and I'm here in strong opposition to CA5. So I know most of you have listened over the last few years to many residents express the opposition to the billboard at the PAM and raise serious concerns over its impact on their views and general character of the neighborhood. I myself have worked with many investors and tenants in the buildings across from it, and I can tell you I haven't run across anyone who doesn't consider it an eyesore to be bombarded with the visual pollution of bright advertisements within their living space. If you agree to this settlement, it opens the door to more signs, bigger and brighter, and allowing them will be a betrayal to the residents who spent years trying to protect the aesthetic integrity of our neighborhood and the natural landscape of our parks that visitors from all over the world enjoy. But even if none of this is important to you, there is still an even more concerning aspect to this proposed settlement, which is that it sets a precedent to just negotiate away a non-conforming use or structure in exchange for money. This sends a horrible message that entitles those who are capable of making large sum payments to rewrite the rules so that they don't apply to them. And they can do so avoiding to comply with proper permitting and code. When on the other hand, a typical resident spends years jumping through hoops to navigate permitting and code just to open a small business. I'm one of those. This commission should be very cognizant that this type of message does not resonate in any way with the voters in the city of Miami. And I ask you to please take this into consideration, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Beatrice Morris, and I'm in support of PH3. I am the principal of Matter Preparatory Academy. Our school serves families in Little Havana, Alapata, as well as those who work in the courthouse and Jackson Hospital. We are part of the heart of Miami, supporting children whose parents keep this city running every day. Our students and families are committed to education. And as their elementary principal, one of the questions I get over and over is, where will my students go for middle high? Right now, that answer is unanswered. Our students and families are committed to education. They want security and safety. And what better than the Olympia project? This project provides much needed solution to a high school where our students will continue their education in a high inspiring performing historical setting. This opportunity is more than bricks and mortar. This is about stability and family continuing their education. On behalf of our school, our parents, I want to support and thank you for your leadership in identifying a team that our city, that we can agree will be successful in delivering our vision. I thank you, and on behalf of the families, support this and an effort. I deeply gratitude for the commitment you are showing to our students and families. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone in their respective places, especially the commissioners that have been supportive. My name is Manista Lee Kinsler, MLK for the short. I am the founder of A Leap of Faith Foundation. I'm here on behalf of the PH3, the Olympia Theater, which we know as the Gusman Theater. The Gusman Theater is what inspired me to be the artist that I am today. I have over 15 scripts. When I saw that on the news, I was appalled because as a writer and a producer, I have to pay big money to rent a venue to help the community. I come with arts from the health aspect, from the criminal aspect, and from all the aspects we deal with in our community. I deal with social activists and social justice causes through arts. Why do I have to pay so much for a venue just to bring awareness to our community? And how is it that people who are not going to do nothing but prostitute me because I have to pay them, but they cannot keep that building going? I have 15 scripts, can keep y'all buildings going all throughout Dade County for years. How is it that the developers get the access to prostitute my community? So I would love for y'all to pay attention to who we giving these buildings to for what. Why would you need a theater and you can't even produce nothing? You're going to have to put people in there to do it. So I'm asking, why can't a Leap of Faith Foundation have the building so we can take crime and homelessness off the street through the artistic measure? Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. Joe Ruiz with offices at 396 Alhambra Circle. I'm here on behalf of the applicant for items PZ2 and PZ3. These are for rezoning of future land use map change for the properties located at 175 Northeast 55th Street and 184 Northeast 56th Street. I'm proud to say that we've worked closely with the community on these applications, including the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust. And to that end, I'd like to submit a letter of support from the trust into the record. I'd also like to submit a voluntarily proffered covenant into the record, and also respectfully ask that when this item comes up that we modify the rezoning request from T50 to T5L, which came at the request of the trust. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Morris, 4130 Liebeyer Avenue, Coconut Grove, Florida, 33133. I would like to know which is true, because they can't all be true. As reported in the Coconut Grove Spotlight, when discussing the extra 300 police officers Miami-Dade will need in the future, City of Miami Police Chief Manny Morales stated during the June Commission meeting, "Our officers are doing well, but I'm looking at the city and how we're growing. It's not that there is a need now, but there is a need to prepare for what Miami is to become." He said that according to the department projections, Miami will see an increase of about 7,000 dwelling units over the next few years. The cost for these police officers to serve the future residents of Miami that don't exist and that is not necessary as we're sitting is $161 million. At the same time, we're told that the cost to restore the Olympia and provide for cultural programming is too much, and there isn't enough of a demand for a historical venue. Are you saying that the future inhabitants of those 7,000 dwelling units will all be criminals and uninterested in live shows? The other thing we're told is that Slam Team can run the theater profitably despite being a school and not a cultural programming organization, with Miami-Dade College running the programming, which is very vague. Which is it? Can the venue not support public programming, or can it be run profitably as a public venue? Which is it? Finally, I have not heard a reason why the City of Miami should exercise a quitclaim deed and surrender the deed to Slam. If the theater is not to be sold or altered in use later, and that all Slam is looking for is revenue from its use and programming, why not do the standard 99-year lease with the same restrictions as noted in Exhibit C for the purchase and sale agreement? I don't understand why we're giving it to them. You are really bad lawyers. I would fire you all.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Annalisa Duran, 1101 Biscayne Boulevard, Miami, Florida, 33132. I'm here as a representative of the Philip and Patricia Frost Museum of Science as the Senior Director of Science Education in opposition of CA5. Frost Science strongly opposes the continued operation of the illegal LED sign at PAM. For over a year, this commercial installation has undermined the integrity of Maurice A. Ferre Park, formerly Museum Park, creating a distracting and commercialized environment that conflicts with the cultural and educational mission of our institutions. The sign's scale and brightness compromise the visitor experience and disrupt nighttime programming and the museum's wildlife through light pollution. The park was envisioned as a civic space for education, science, and culture, and this sign erodes that vision while setting a troubling precedent for the future of our shared public spaces. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Saif Hamida, 5600 Biscayne Boulevard. I'm here to urge the city to accept the settlement with PAM so the great folks at PAM can move on and get to the work that they're doing. Now, every single day in Spain, there are more people visiting Spain than there are who live in Spain. And that's because centuries ago, they made an investment in art and architecture. And that beauty built a culture and a community. And that's what we're doing here in Miami today. But unfortunately, we do not have the funds from both the state and private patronage to build a world-class museum the way it needs to be built. I've traveled across the United States. I've worked with several public art programs in New York, Chicago, LA, even Cleveland, Ohio, and I've seen larger budgets for the arts and culture than here in Miami. And so what the team has done is gone out and found a creative way to face two major headwinds and try to build a program in the face of adversity. I would urge you to accept this so Franklin Sermons and team can go back to doing what they're doing, which is opening a flagship institution for the community to learn about art and to beautify our city and to bring people from all over the world to the cultural capital, Miami, Florida. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Giselle Bernal, Principal of Matter Academy at Corpus Christi in Alapata, speaking on PH3. I serve more than 800 K-8 families who work hard, who struggle, who count on us every day. Alongside the parish priest, Father Menendez, we do all we can. But the question I hear from parents again and again is this: where will my child go for high school? And the truth is, I don't have an exact answer. They need options, and the Olympia Theater project gives us that. It's not just about restoring a building, it's about giving our children the high school they need, right here in their city, in a space that fills them with pride. I thank you today, and I'm asking all of you to listen to the voices of the families that I represent. They deserve stability and hope for their children's future. On behalf of our students, teachers, and parents, I urge you to make this happen. We thank you for your leadership. Our Alapata community is counting on you. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Michelle Pistana, 9080 MacArthur Causeway, on behalf of Miami Children's Museum Charter Elementary School. I am the proud principal of Miami Children's Museum Charter School, located within Miami Children's Museum. Our school has a truly unique location off of the MacArthur Causeway, just minutes away from downtown Miami. From this vantage point, we serve hundreds of families from the inner core of our city, many of whom live and work in the heart of Miami. Every day, I see the commitment of our parents and students to education, and I hear their concerns of what comes next. The question is, where will our students go? Today, my answer to them is uncertain. The Olympia Theater project offers the clear, practical solution our families need. It will provide a needed pathway close to home in a setting that reflects the energy and creativity of both our students and the city of Miami. On behalf of our teachers, students, and families, I want to thank you for your vision in identifying a team in our city that we can all agree will be successful delivering your vision for this great facility. On behalf of our families, we stand in full support of this effort, and we are deeply grateful for the commitment you are making to our children and their future. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Deliana Alexander, and I'm the co-founder and executive director of Filmgate Miami, Florida's premier media nonprofit organization. For over 13 years, we have supported independent filmmakers, immersive creators, and educators in our region, making sure Miami's creative economy has a strong and innovative future. I speak today in support of PH3 and SLAM's purchase of the Olympia Theater. As a downtown resident, commercial property owner, and a leader of a nonprofit that has collaborated with schools, students, and community partners, I know how vital the Olympia is to our cultural fabric. SLAM has promised to this community to preserve and restore the Olympia Theater, to keep its doors open for cultural programming and community use, to provide students real opportunities in the arts and media performances right here in downtown Miami, well, right there, and to partner with other nonprofits like ours. So the Olympia is not just a school asset, but a living hub for creativity and education. So if you bake that into the contract and SLAM is committed and accountable, they will ensure the Olympia does not fall into further disrepair and becomes, and it's not a closed and empty shell. Instead, it will be restored, activated, and shared, a place where resident students, artists, and visitors can gather to celebrate Miami's culture. And we saw how activated it was last weekend with Marcelo Hernandez and the Netflix special. It was amazing to see this youthful energy on Flagler Street. I would like to see this every day, not just once in a while. So on behalf of Filmgate Miami and our members, I urge you to approve this transfer. Let's give the Olympia Theater a future as vibrant as its past.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Eileen Hernandez, and I am the principal of Mater Academy Kiwanis in Little Havana, 998 Southwest 1st Street, Miami, Florida, 33130. And I'm here in honor of PH3 for the Olympia Theater. Our school is located in East Little Havana, just a few blocks away from downtown Miami. Mater Kiwanis was founded as a partnership between Mater Academy and the Kiwanis Club of Little Havana. And together, we have been able to serve families in this historic neighborhood with a high-quality public education. We serve many of your most needy families. They are hardworking and deeply committed to their children's success. The Olympia Theater Project will help provide the high school our families most desperately need. Something that is close to home, in a safe and inspiring space that honors Miami's history while preparing our children for the future. This opportunity is more than just restoring a building. It's about creating continuity for our families, stability for our students, and hope for the next generation. On behalf of the Mater Kiwanis community, I want to thank you for your leadership in identifying a team in our city that we can all agree will be successful in delivering your vision for a greater facility. We stand in strong support for this proposal, and we are grateful for your commitment to the children and families in the Little Havana area. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jenny Rodriguez, and I'm here on behalf, of Philip and Patricia of Frost Museum of Science in downtown Miami. For years, Frost Science has been a cultural anchor in District 2, welcoming millions of visitors for learning, discovery, and exploration. The oversized LED billboard installed by Perez Art Museum and Orange Barrel Media undermines that vision this campus was built on. This billboard overwhelms our public space, takes away from the natural beauty of the waterfront, and disrupt the immersive environment our institution have worked so hard to create. We ask you to please not rush into a settlement on item CA.5-18137. Approving it would set a precedent that puts short-term advertising ahead of Miami's long-term cultural vitality. This campus was meant to be a place for children, families, and residents to experience the arts and science, and not a platform for third-party ads. On behalf of Frost Science, I respectfully urge you to protect the integrity of our campus and keep the focus on culture, education, and community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. I am Sheila Caleo, the proud principal of Mater Grove Academy, located inside of the Boys and Girls Club campus in Coconut Grove, 2805 Southwest 32nd Avenue. Mater Grove Academy was founded in 2011 in a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club, and this year we proudly celebrate our 15th year of educating students together. Together, we serve 1,200 students, kindergarten through 8th grade, in our shared campus. And just as the Boys and Girls Club has nurtured young people through sports and after-school programs, the Olympia Theater will nurture them through arts, culture, and creativity, representing the next chapter for our students as a high school. The Olympia will give our families a high-quality option and a top-notch education in a setting that is both historic and inspiring. And most importantly, it will provide our students the opportunity to pursue a high-quality high school education through the arts. The Olympiad ensures continuity for our students while keeping the talent and energy right here in our community. We are very proud to support this effort, and we thank you for your support. We are deeply grateful for your commitment to the future of our students and our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for this forum. My name is Bill Tech. I'm here to speak on PH3, the Olympia Theater. I'm a lifelong Miami resident, born and raised, and I'm here to speak to you as a filmmaker and also someone who grew up attending different concerts and films and festivals at the Olympia Theater. It's very close to my heart. I even remember the late film critic Bill Cosford hosting some screenings that were outside of the festival. It's very important to stress the relevance of preserving the Olympia as a movie palace, which is what it was built for. I'm a working filmmaker. I attend festivals all the time. My latest film was just nominated for a Grammy for Best Music Film. And this is important that we have this culture in Miami and that we preserve it. It was built for that. It's important to continue having it as a venue for Miami's Film Festival. And I know the SLAM team can make that happen. I've followed them since before day one. My son attended and graduated from the schools that SLAM is affiliated with. And I've seen firsthand the enthusiasm, the grace, the care, and the sense of serving the community that these organizations bring. I also know the individuals who lead this group of schools. I agree that you've identified one of the few organizations in our city that you can rest assured will be successful in delivering your vision for this great building. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Luca Sabatini. I'm a 15-year resident of the city of Miami. I'm here to talk in favor of PH3. I'm also a touring professional in the arts and entertainment. And, based on the work I do throughout the country, actually, it seems to me that the theaters that are thriving and are successful and can keep up with the demand are the ones that have been privatized and have fallen into the hands of institutions and groups of people that really care. It seems that the city of Miami has made it clear that at the moment, as the state senator said, it's about needs and wants. It's not that you don't want, we don't blame you for that perhaps, but at the moment it's not an urgent need, but it is an urgent need for the community. I think that to have a space that can be what a theater is supposed to be, which is a place of fruition for the arts, is very important. It seems to me that the agenda that the SLAM group has put together is very intentional, does address many good initiatives from education to restoration, not just for the sake of beautifying a historical theater, but for the sake of putting it to good use once again. I think that it's really a no-brainer to pass this PH3 situation, and I'm deeply in favor of it, and I know all of the young professionals in the city are in favor of it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. My name is Olga Camarena. I'm here to speak in support of the PH3. I have the honor to be the principal at Matter International Academy at San Roberto Bellarmino campus, 3405 Northwest 27th Avenue. Our school serves families in Little Havana and Alapara. My parent desperately needs a high school. Every day they ask me where my child will go for high school. Right now the answer is uncertain. The Olympia Theater Project provides the solution. It offers our students a receiving high school close to home in a safe, inspiring, and historic setting. This opportunity is about far more than restoring a landmark. It is about continuity for families, stability for children, and a stronger community for Miami. On behalf of our school, I thank you all for your leadership in identifying a team in our city that we can all agree will be successful delivering your vision for this great facility. In support of hundreds of families at our school, we thank you For this effort, we are deeply grateful for the commitment you are showing to our students and our community. Also, my godson, Marcelo Hernandez, just performed multiple sold-out shows at the Olympia Theater this past weekend. As his godmother, thank you again for making sure this theater continues to serve Miami. I'm 100% confident that the team you've selected will not only deliver on your vision, but will also fix the air conditioning once for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Z. Sultan. I'm the Vice President of the DNA Downtown Neighbors Alliance, as well as a resident at the Paramount. I'm here to speak on two issues, one being the PAM Orange Barrel Media Billboard, and the second being the DDA bylaw changes. On the first topic, downtown residents have fought the 10-story billboard at the Perez Art Museum for over a year. You repealed the 2023 law that enabled outside signs and directed legal action. Thank you. Now there's a proposal to settle with PAM Orange Barrel Media for $500,000 per year. That's not really accountability. It's a pay-to-play precedent for breaking the rules and negotiating after the fact. The sign went live despite an ongoing dispute and a repeal of the enabling law. Residents are calling it a digital blight. The proposed settlement would keep the jumbo sign operating with conditions instead of restoring the status quo. This rewards non-compliance and invites copycats. Commissioners, I ask you to reject the settlement, pursue the case to judgment, and enforce our zoning and lease terms with no special carve-outs. When rules are enforced, we protect residents, our waterfront parks, and the city's credibility. The second of which is going to be the DDA bylaw changes. We ask that you center resident voices. The board has 15 seats on the DDA. The draft floating number of residents to only 3 seats is insufficient. Downtown is no longer just offices, it's tens of thousands of residents paying into the district and living with the consequences of everyday decisions. We ask that the board reflects the community it serves, ensure expired terms are filled on time, nominations are transparent, and compliance with the ownership designation rules is verified at appointment. In closing, we ask that residents aren't asking for special treatment, we're asking for equal treatment. Enforce the rules on the billboards, don't monetize non-compliance, and modernize DDA representation so residents finally have a voice. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I am not David Letterman. My name is Kevin Minot. I live at 7950 Northeast Bayshore Court. I'm also the Senior Director of Production and Artistic Operations at Florida Grand Opera, and I'm here today in support of PH3 and the use of the Olympia Theater. Florida Grand Opera has a long and storied history in the state of Florida. We're the oldest performing arts organization in the state. We are also the 7th or 9th oldest performing arts opera company, in the United States. We believe there is great synergy between education, arts education, historic preservation, and the work that we do. We believe we serve over 42,000 children yearly through our education programs, through our final dress performances in Miami-Dade County. And we are strongly in support of this move with SLAM and the preservation of the Olympic Theater. We look forward to the opportunities that this building will provide. Florida Grand Opera, in its original days as Greater Miami Opera Association, performed at the Olympia, and we look forward to being back there working with SLAM in education capacity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Alexander Cordovez, 400 Northwest, 1st Avenue. I come here today as a downtown resident urging you to support the proposal for PH3. If you attended the last meeting, I spoke about how the changes happening in downtown have had a positive effect on my life and that of the community, and the Olympia Theater's restoration is no different. It's not just about saving a building, it's an investment in our city's cultural and economic future. We've seen how the restorations on Flagler have brought back life into our community. The addition of the SLAM next door further strengthens this vision. As a Matter Academy alum, I see firsthand the positive effects of high-performing charter schools in our community. I'm a direct benefit. Students already spill into downtown businesses daily, and the synergy between the school and the theater will only deepen that connection. I've seen what SLAM can do, shaping the next generation to be engaged citizens with pride in their school, pride in the Olympia, and in their city. I have faith in this restoration, and I have faith in the restoration will ensure the Olympia Theater will once again become a cultural anchor for us all. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Denise Galvez, a resident of the city. I know a lot of people here that are speaking are not residents of the city. I happen to have a small business and be a resident of the city. So I'm going to try to speak in generality since there's so many items. First of all, I find it really hypocritical that we're talking about handing over the Olympia Theater because of money, while in the same exact agenda, we're talking about giving away millions for legal settlements and the purchases of properties in Little Havana with no plans as to what is going to be done with these properties. When I walk the neighborhoods, the number one thing I get is they're sick of the waste, they're sick of the corruption, and affordability. And it's really, really disheartening to see the city misspend our hard-earned tax money on things like buying properties in Little Havana that's on the agenda with zero plans as to what's going to happen to that property. I can tell you the city's done that before, and that property is now empty and blighted and full of homeless. So I'm asking you to please vote no on that purchase in Little Havana. I'm also asking you to please set a precedent here. When it comes to the legal fees of commissioners, okay, who commit all sorts of alleged crimes, if they are not exonerated by a court and a jury, we should not be paying their legal fees. They want to take it up with the state who accused them. They can take it up with the state, but we should not be paying their legal fees. And for those other commissioners who are not sitting here today, who were found guilty of a federal judgment, they should be responsible for those fees as well. We should claw back that money and use it for affordable housing with an actual plan in partnership with public and private institutions, not the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, my name is Katarina Haddad, 212 North Miami Avenue. I'm here to support the plans for the Olympia Theater. I'm a senior marketing manager for Club Space and 3 Points. I work a lot in cultural programming, grassroots, and national. I live and work in downtown, and I've been deeply involved in the community since 2017. Downtown has always been my hub. My work is rooted in building bridges between artists and audiences, grassroots creativity and major institutions, Miami's legacy and its future. That's why I support this plan. The Olympia is more than a building. It's a landmark in our city's story with enormous untapped potential to become a cultural hub again. The plan proposed honors its history while reimagining its future as an accessible and sustainable home for the arts. The idea of another piece of downtown breathing in new life excites me as somebody who has watched it slowly come back to life in the past few years. The commitment to collaboration with local operators also excites me, with the possibility for Miami's local voices to be heard, shaping programming that is diverse, innovative, and inclusive. The Olympia can be a stage where international names perform, but also where local producers, educators, and creatives like us share our work and connect with our community in meaningful ways. So I'm here to support the plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Millie Sanchez, 1717 North Bayshore Drive. I'm one of the founders of SLAM, and I currently serve as the Chief Administrative Officer for the organization. I think that everyone here can agree on one thing, and that you've heard. The Olympia is an iconic landmark that must be preserved. SLAM has stepped up to do just that with a commitment to, at minimum, $50 million for the renovation and preservation of the theater. That is the level of investment necessary to restore and preserve this landmark. Our proposal saves the Olympia Theater, which you have heard from many, to do just that. It saves the city and its taxpayers from bearing that cost. And, you know, one very important factor in all this is that the Guzman family, the benefactor, the original benefactor, the family supports this plan. As you have heard at multiple meetings, and I see that Mr. Barquette is here, so you may hear that again today, it resolves their litigation and honors Maurice Guzman's vision that the Olympia remain a cultural institution open to the people of Miami. Under this proposal, the theater stays a theater. The public continues to enjoy the venue. and the adjoining tower becomes a hub for education, culture, and the arts. We've been working hand in hand with community groups representing the arts and civic partners to bring this vision to life. Many of them came out to speak today, so I thank them as well. Today, you have the power to secure the future of Olympia. A yes on PH3 preserves this historic landmark, it ends the litigation, and it advances the revitalization of our city's downtown corridor. SLAM has been serving this community for almost 15 years. We care about our city and about our community. And as your partner, we will continue to be good public stewards. We are fully capable and committed to delivering on this vision. With your support, we can make that vision a reality today. I thank you, and as a resident of District 2 and a stakeholder, I trust that you will do what is right for our city.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Sasha Torres, 2007 Southwest 8th Street. I have been in culture and arts almost my entire life. I think this is a unique opportunity with an excellent group in SLAM that's going to provide the support to make the Olympia what it deserves to be. It's languished. It's just been too long, and we need a group that's going to go in there, get the job done, and get it done right. So I'm just here to lend my support. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman and Commissioners and staff. Chaplain Stanley Young of Freedom Prison and Jail Ministry, assisting those inmates that are coming to our prisons and jails to get their life started out right. I'm here to speak about what I do in the community. I go into all of Miami.
Excuse me.
And share.
Chaplain, can you?
RE2.
RE2.
RE2. I was going to get to, this community sticks out of all the communities I go to, that I go to pass out Narcan. I go to talk to the community, try to get those who need the help and assistance that they need. But this community needs your help. I mean, there's a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol in this community that needs your attention. We need to continue. You're doing a great job in help bringing up some of our communities, but we need to continue. We need to continue to fund and help these unsung heroes that goes into the community that helps bring up our community, so our community can house good people living in some adequate housing. So continue your work, continue funding some of these organizations that are doing that kind of work, because that's the kind of work that I dedicated my life to helping that brother, that sister get up off the streets, out of the, out of drugs and out of things that's really bringing them down. But it takes you to revitalize our community, to bring our community up. There's still a lot of old properties that really needs to be torn down and have some new properties built. That's not an easy task, I understand, but it is a doable task. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Riza Fernandez, 992 Northwest 5th Street. Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to speak on PH3. I urge you to vote no on this proposed agreement for the Olympia Theater. This building is one of the city of Miami's most cultural treasures. What is before is not a true investment in restoration and community need. And it also doesn't meet the urgent need of our residents. We don't have to look further for inspiration. Miami Senior High, where I and many others in our community have deep roots, was beautifully restored through the leadership of Miami-Dade Public Schools, alongside preservation partners and nonprofit organizations. That effort proved that what is possible when we commit to preserving our history while lifting the people who live here. Olympia deserves the same. We hear today many of the Matter Academy's faculty and staff about their students. Yes, these families deserve safe and stable schools that they can thrive in. But many of those very students live in low-income neighborhoods in our city where many of those teachers have not been here to advocate for housing, parks, programming that support the children's health and safety in their community. If we truly want to help them, then the Olympia Theater should be restored and converted into something that addresses those needs directly and maintain the cultural heritage of the theater, like affordable work housing for the families and maybe some of those students that go to those schools. The Olympia Theater belongs to the people of Miami. Just like Miami Senior High was preserved for future generations, so too should the Olympia Theater be. Please reject this agreement and instead invest in a plan that honors our history while meeting the needs of our residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, board members. My name is Charles Gibson, and I'm speaking on behalf of PH3 in support of it. I a longtime resident, been here my whole life, but I am here to ask for the commission to support this item. I'm the founder and current board chair of Gibson Charter School. We serve the Overtown area. We have a K through 5 school there. We've been there for approximately about 10 years at this point, and it's always a question of where are my kids going to go next. With the Olympia project, we have an opportunity, you all have an opportunity to have another step for some of our kids who want to get into that type of program. One of the things is that as you all know, Gusman Center, it needs work. It needs support. There have been many opportunities, many different private entities who've come to try to enhance the project, but every time they see the sticker bill, there's a back out. It's been very difficult. It's been going on for years, and finally we have an opportunity to preserve this beautiful example of Miami. I know many of you, if you all grew up in this area, you've probably been there for one reason or another, and I think it's time that we move forward. We should not be holding up projects with phantom ideas without any real pocketbooks. The SLAM Foundation has the money, they have the wherewithal, and they have the operational experience to make this work. I urge all of you commissioners to vote yes, and let's move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, City Commissioners. Terrell Fretz, 111 East Flagler Street, Director of the Flagler Business Improvement District, here to voice the BID's enthusiastic support for item PH3 regarding the Olympia Theater. We are encouraged that the substitute resolution now reflects commitments we have advocated, including that SLAM shall aim for an annual minimum budget of $750,000 to $1 million towards theater operations and cultural programming, and recognizing that SLAM made commitments to the Flagler Bid Board to not oppose zoning amendments that allow compatible entertainment, nightlife, and food and beverage uses. These provisions help ensure that the Olympia thrives not only as a future educational asset, which we assume it will be, but also preserves its status as a cultural, civic, and economic anchor for the downtown community. We do, however, have one outstanding concern. Clause 8 of the quitclaim deed is ambiguous and could be interpreted to allow conveyance of the Olympia to another party without commission approval, as long as the use remains for educational and civic uses. The decision to convey the Olympia to SLAM has been built on trust of the organizations and individuals the community has just met. We're confident the city would not unreasonably withhold future approval, and we respectfully ask that this be amended to safeguard public oversight of the historic theater by requiring commission approval. Thank you for your leadership in this exciting endeavor.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you. And, I guess I'm talking to three of you, but that's more than I normally see. Bob Derez, 200 Southeast 15th Road, 33129, District 2. Been here since 1970. A Grovite half the time. Please don't disregard the Olympia Theater, Gusman Theater. Vote no and issue a fair and transparent RFP, which what bothers me, you know, people don't have a good memory. 25 years ago, we put tens of millions of dollars into that theater, but people forget. So what's going to happen 20 years from now? Are they going to put in another 50, or actually, because of inflation, $75 million to continue to maintain it? Why don't we have a reserve like we do in condominiums, you know, and make sure they pay something every year so that they don't, you know, there isn't any default. Which brings to the fact, who waved that magic wand that's all of a sudden leases and RFPs are 75 years and 99 years. 99 years. It's like we're paying on Watson Island. And this reminds me, I think about how, you know, 40 years ago or 30 years ago, we're all sitting here talking about Parajungle, you know, and giving that away over on Watson Island. That turned into 30 years of them not paying any of their rent at all. And to try to find out how those people, how much they were paying themselves and their lawyers every year, you could not find that out. And then it turns into, it was Parajungle, and today we sold it, right? All you have to do is put on the ballot that we're going to increase our taxes, and all these voters that don't know anything will vote yes. And we lost that along with the other property. That Parajungle, the property on Watson Island, $1 million.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wish I had more time.
Sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Mike Llorente, LSN Law 3800, Northeast 1st Avenue, representing Frost Science. The agreement authorizing the PAM sign, quote, violates the city charter because it was executed without approval by a majority of voters at a ballot referendum. A ballot referendum was required here. Those are not my words. That's the city attorney's office in court pleadings. The PAM sign is not in compliance with state law, despite PAM's arguments to the contrary, and jeopardizes significant federal highway funding for the state. Quote, I believe that statewide enforcement issues would arise if PAM's interpretation were to hold, potentially impacting the department's federal funding per the 1972 FHWA FDOT agreement. Not my words. That's an FDOT attorney who also prepared a draft letter threatening to issue to PAM a notice of violation of illegally erected sign. Then we have the FHWA, the ultimate authority with jurisdiction. They've been knocking on FDOT's door all year, trying to get someone to explain how this sign does not violate state and federal law. An FHWA official warned FDOT that the advertisements on the PAM sign, quote, could disqualify the sign from a waiver under the outdoor advertising regulations. The PAM sign, Commissioners, is a 10-story illuminated red flag. It violates the city charter, it violates state law, it violates federal law, and it jeopardizes hundreds of millions in state highway funding. Item CA5 invites you to ignore these red flags and to become a partner in the business venture, notwithstanding the law, notwithstanding strident opposition from the community, including the Frost. Item R5, CA5 is a bad idea. Please vote no. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Mark Rosenblum, COO, Perez Art Museum, Miami, PAM, 1103 Biscayne Boulevard, Miami, 33132. I'm here to speak in support of the proposed settlement regarding the PAM sign. I'd like to start with a salute to this leadership group. Thank you for your continued support of the arts, for allowing our flagship institution to become a leader in our field, educating our communities, promoting the Miami name all over the globe. This does not happen with just the hard work of our skilled local workforce and our world-class facility. It takes significant annual operating funds to deliver. Yes, we clearly punch above our weight. We are motivated to be the best because that's what Miami deserves. You understood this when you approved the ordinance allowing us to start the process. You understood this when you issued a building permit to begin construction, and you understood this when you allowed us to turn the sign on more than a year ago. So today, I again thank you for understanding it is time to agree on a settlement to allow us to move forward. Arts funding is in danger at every level of the government. Museums like ours are forced to lean on creative ideas and the private sector. Please don't penalize us for finding non-traditional sources of funding. I remind you all, we employ over 250 people in this community. Our free programs and educational initiatives reach over 25,000 children and elders each year, crossing all your districts. In a sea of lighted signs, buildings, and bridges in downtown Miami, our sign is one with an important purpose. Pam has proven itself a responsible steward of this sign and these funds, leveraging them to deliver value to our residents and our economy. If we diminish the arts, we diminish Miami. If we sustain them, we strengthen both our economy and our souls. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. My name is Andy Alfonso, speaking in support of PH3. I stand here as a very, very proud graduate of Matter Academy Charter High and Performing Arts Academy. That title is one of the great honors of my life, and I carry it with me everywhere that I go. The organizations and the people who are leading this proposal have proven themselves as good and faithful stewards, not only in my life, but in the lives of thousands of students, of families, and graduates across the schools. I speak not only as an alumnus, but also as someone who deeply cares for and has a passion for the arts, from dancing, classical ballet, to working alongside arts and cultural groups. There is real enthusiasm in the arts community for what this plan represents, the innovation and the creativity that it will bring to our city. I asked myself, if I were sitting at this dais today, what would I want to hear to guide my decision and know that I was making the best choice for our city? There have been many, many plans and discussions about the past, but as we stand here today in the present, looking at this proposal before us, and also casting vision for the future of Miami, the question stands, is this the right path forward? And are these the right organizations, the right people to make it happen? And my answer to that is unequivocally, without any doubt or reservation, yes. Having worked across education, government, media, and entertainment, I am confident that the proposed plan represents the best interest of the city. I believe that God's providence often shows itself in these moments, the right people positioned in the right place at the right time, and that's what I see here. I think it most certainly includes each of you. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Kim Gilarte Gill, and I am here in support of PH3. 30 years ago, I had the privilege of serving as the founding principal of Matter Academy. Today, I serve as Chief Operating Officer of the Matter Academy Network, with schools across our nation, but headquartered right here in our city. What began as a small effort rooted in Centro Mater in Little Havana has grown into a network that now serves tens of thousands of students across the nation. Over the decades, Matter has remained committed to its mission of providing high-quality public education, particularly to the families of Miami who first inspired our work. The SLAM network was originally nested inside Matter Academy and eventually became a separate and independent network. Today, Matter and SLAM continue to collaborate closely, sharing the same vision for students and communities. Here in the city of Miami, Matter Academy directly serves over 8,000 families. Several of the principals from those schools are here with us today. They have shared with you their urgent need for receiving a high school, and an Olympia Theater project provides that solution. This opportunity will ensure that our students have a pathway to continue their education in their own city, close to home, in a historic and inspiring setting. On behalf of Matter Academy, I want to thank you for your leadership in safeguarding the Olympia's future and in identifying a team in our city that we can all agree will be successful delivering your vision for this great facility. We are happy to stand with you, and we are grateful for your commitment to the children and families we serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Amanda Milian, and I'm here to speak on behalf of PH3. I am beyond honored to stand here today as an alumna of SLAM, the inaugural Student Station General Manager of SLAM Radio, the first and only student-run national radio station in the country, and now as a proud employee of SLAM. My journey in the halls of SLAM and our SiriusXM studio is a testament to the incredible opportunities SLAM provides, and I'm here to ensure the next generation gets the same shot that I did. When I was a student at SLAM, I discovered my passion for radio and production through hands-on experiences that opened my eyes to what was possible. Because of SLAM's commitment to fostering creativity and skills, I now work with our students every day at SLAM Radio, living out my dream. But I did not go back just to share my story. I returned to SLAM because I believe in paying it forward. All students deserve the same access to arts and media that transformed my life. That's why I am so excited about the Olympia Project. This initiative will bring more arts access to our entire community, amplifying what SLAM does best, preparing kids for their future careers. It's about giving every student the tools to tell their story, to find their voice, and to build a path to success. Whether that's in radio, production, or in any field that they dream of. The Olympia Project isn't just about art, it's about opportunity. It's about ensuring that every kid and artist in our city has a chance to shine just like I did. Together, we're not just shaping the future of our community, we're empowering the next generation to lead it. I hope you support this project as it will open doors for so many more students just like I once was. Let's keep the arts alive and our students thriving.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. My name is Tony Mesa, and I serve as the Chair and President of SLAM, and I'm here to speak in support of PH3. During this process, I have learned how the Olympia is like a big puzzle. And to solve that puzzle, someone has to have all the pieces. Unfortunately, over the years, no one has been able to bring all the pieces to the city to solve it. There's always been a piece missing, often many pieces, until now. SLAM is uniquely positioned and has all the pieces to solve the Olympia puzzle. The financial piece, a $50 million plus commitment to restore and preserve it, a commitment that ensures zero cost, not one penny, to the city and its taxpayers. The capacity piece, SLAM is a reliable, responsible nonprofit with a proven record, strong, valuable partners, and a mission that aligns with this plan. The purpose piece, Maurice Guzman's vision of the Olympia being a cultural institution for public use with a civic purpose will not only be preserved, but it will be amplified with the plan's use of the adjoining tower as an educational and cultural hub. The Guzman family supports this plan, so much so they will end their litigation if approved. These are the pieces to the Olympia puzzle. SLAM is very fortunate to have them. No one else does. With your support, we want to use them to save the Olympia. The 100-year anniversary of the Olympia Theater is next year. I think it's fitting that all of this is happening on its eve. And while none of us can be at the second 100-year anniversary and all the anniversaries thereafter, a yes vote today ensures that others will. We hope to have the privilege to make this commitment, bear this responsibility, and honor Mr. Guzman's vision. We thank you for your vision and for your consideration in making that possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Larry Milian, and I am the proud National Director of SLAM Radio, the nation's only student-led radio station on SiriusXM. I'm here today speaking in favor of PH3 to give you a little bit of my perspective. Every day our students are learning how to produce live radio shows, interviewing national figures, and creating original programming that reaches listeners across the country and across the globe. It is proof of what young adults can achieve when they're given the tools, the mentorship, and the platform to lead. Imagine our students gravitate to gaining knowledge, doing research, and speaking their opinions, their truths. They understand the show must go on, just like in life, and they answer the call every day. Their work ethic is only surpassed by their passion to learn and to exercise their First Amendment rights. The Olympia Theater project gives us the chance to expand that impact in the most amazing way. Inside the restored building, we plan to launch a radio cafe, a space that will give Flagler Street the life, the performances, conversations, and live programming it deserves. Artists, community members, and our students will all have access to this space, creating a unique hub where ideas and creativity flow freely. It will be a place where young broadcasters sit alongside established artists, where the community and the classroom meet, and where future professionals take their first steps. Through Slam Radio, we've already built partnerships with major organizations and leaders in the arts and the media. We've proven that Miami students can compete and succeed on a national stage. Now with the Olympia Theater as our home base, we can bring that same level of energy downtown, changing not just the landscape of Flagler, but the cultural footprint of the city as a whole. This is more than just restoring a theater. This is for our students, for our neighborhood, and for Miami's future of the arts. I ask you to support so we can continue building this vision together. God bless you, God bless the city of Miami, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Douglas Rodriguez, 230 Southwest 17th Road, currently the principal at Matter Brickell Academy and Miami Tech on the campus of Miami-Dade Community College Wolfson campus. I'm also currently involved in the pre-planning for the Olympia project and have had the opportunity to look at the space and what the potential is to create the most dynamic and robust performing arts program in the country. And I want this commission to think about the dichotomy of what I'm saying. We're talking about the most technologically advanced school and performing arts program in the country, sitting adjacent to a 100-year-old theater. And I think back to 2 weeks ago when I went to a performance in that theater, as I sat outside looking at the building and getting ready to go inside and see this amazing performance in this incredibly historic and wonderful theater. It dawned on me the theater is made of brick and concrete. That's not what makes that theater special. What makes that theater special is the fact that there are connections that we make historically throughout our lives and events that have taken place in that theater that have an impact on us. I want you to think about the next 100 years, the 200 students a year that will graduate from that theater and will walk across that stage as part of the Olympia project, making 20,000 new students who create a love and a connection for that theater. If we're looking at the future of the theater, it's more than just about the next 10 years. It's about the next 100, long after we're gone. I've had the opportunity to serve this county as principal in many schools throughout every corner of the county, from Miami Central High School, Ronald Reagan Doral High School, Miami Springs High School, Matter Biscayne Academy, Doral Academy, all of those. I've had my imprint on those schools and the educational programs, and I can assure this commission that we will deliver on delivering an equality program. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Armando Ruiz. I am a student of Slam Miami, as well as the lead student host of Slam Radio. I am speaking in support of item PH3, restoring the Olympia Theater. Before anything, I would like to speak about the importance of choices. Sometimes a singular choice can lead to a whole future which was unimaginable at the time. When I was given the choice to join Slam Radio, my response was, sure, because I was hesitant. You know, the class was called Digital Audio Production. I had no idea what that meant. And I had never done anything in communications before. Now here I am, speaking in front of the commissioners of the city of Miami, speaking for that same program, all because I made a choice to say yes. I mean, how many students can say that? How many students can say that they have spoken to and interviewed Pitbull, Gente de Zona, Grammy Award-winning producers, professional sports players, politicians, etc., etc., etc.? That's a pretty good resume. All because I said yes that day. I wouldn't have had that choice, that opportunity, without Slam Radio. And because of Slam Radio, I've grown in maturity, confidence, and a lot of experiences. I'm sure you can imagine how eye-opening and uniquely exciting something like this is. Now imagine what can be done by expanding a curriculum like this to the scale of a theater. That is why it is so important to support the preservation of the Olympia Theater, to support education that prepares us for careers and for making sure Miami students have opportunities to succeed.
Thank you.
Please choose to say yes to PH3. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Aaron DeMeo. I am the chair of the city's Climate Resilience Committee. I'm here to speak today on item RE15, addresses 66 West Flagler 33130. On September 15th, our committee unanimously adopted the STORM resolution, science-based tracking and operational resilience for Miami, and it's to strengthen preparedness and reaffirm the city's commitment to science-based storm forecasting. The weather has a profound impact on the lives and economy of South Florida. This is not about climate change. This is not about the past. This is not about a distant future. This is about today and tomorrow, and having the data and systems in place that you all need and the emergency response team needs in order to make well-informed decisions and save lives and property. That's why we recommend that the Commission support the STORM initiative and sustain investment at the federal, state, and local levels, and to strengthen partnerships so Miami is always ready with science and data needed to act. Thank you all.
Thank you. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Commissioners, my name is Rolando Llanes. I'm the principal of Civica Architecture, and I have the pleasure of being the architect working alongside Richard Heisenbottle and his team and the folks at SLAM on what would potentially be, if this item were to be approved, the full restoration and rehabilitation of the Olympia Theater. But I come before you really, and I felt compelled to stand up to remind myself and all of us of another project that I was very much involved in. Almost 30 years to the day, I stood in this room before it was renovated beautifully by the team of Richard Heisenbottle with local community folks to hope and to present plans for the adaptive reuse and restoration of another iconic work of architecture in the city of Miami that used to be on the corner of Northwest 23rd Avenue and 10th Avenue and 23rd Street. I don't know if you remember it, but it was Miami Baseball Stadium, also known as Bobby Maduro Stadium. We stood here with local community groups, with Father Menendez, with the late Joe Fleming, with the late Yoel Kamaid, and members of the Alapata community, showing the city of Miami and the community at large plans to adaptively reuse that iconic stadium, that iconic building. We pleaded with the development community. We pleaded with the city of Miami. We pleaded with the historic preservation folks to see if anyone, with nonprofits, to see if anyone would step forward and do what they had to do their part, to put their money where their mouth is, to preserve one of the most iconic buildings in the city of Miami. At the end of the day, a wrecking ball called apathy tore that stadium down in 2001. It no longer stands. It's gone forever. We're left with documentaries and books.
Thank you.
So the last point I will make is that while you consider the brightness of a billboard, don't do what you have to do to make sure that the lights of the Olympia Theater shine brightly for the next generation.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Therese Vento, General Counsel of the Perez Art Museum, Miami, 1103 Biscayne Boulevard, speaking about the PAM digital sign settlement. In the pending lawsuit, PAM recently filed a motion for summary judgment detailing the evidence and legal arguments why PAM should win without the need of a trial. It was compelling. The City of Miami Legal Department, taking into consideration the respected opinions of others, saw the handwriting on the wall. If the court rules in PAM's favor, PAM could activate the sign 24/7 at the light levels in the original sign ordinance. The case before the court is currently on hold while the parties finalize that settlement. We are sure the city attorney conveyed to you at the July Shade meeting PAM's proposed settlement that permanently retains what PAM had voluntarily agreed to last year. going dark between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., and reduced brightness at dawn and dusk. Residents currently don't see the PAM sign at all when most people are asleep. However, there are plenty of other large and bright signs which they and nearby animals can see at night, including the brightly lit Frost Science Museum, 4 billboards at Foray Park, other large waterfront digital signs, and soon the Signature Bridge. The parade of horribles that were predicted by opponents to the PAM sign has not happened. Let's call the opposition to the PAM sign what it is: selective outrage. The sign is not coming down, but that's not a surprise. This commission has noted repeatedly during the 6 commission meetings held on this topic that doing so would expose the city to huge liability because of vested permits. And Attorney Widesong noted at April 25, 2024 meeting that some folks mistakenly thought that by adopting the compromise sign ordinance, the signs were going to come down. Quote, "That's not the case. They will be in a non-conforming status, which means they can stay until they are essentially taken down or abandoned by the sign companies. Please vote in favor." Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Reynaldo Mare, City of Miami District 3 resident, a proud Slam Miami parent, and I am speaking in favor of PH3. First, I want to thank you for always supporting education and the future of children in the City of Miami. As a parent, we know the arts and education go hand in hand. The Olympia Theater is not just a historic building, it's an opportunity for the future generation. With SLAM vision, the restoration will create new opportunity for our kids to learn and experience the arts in ways that inspire their creativity and confidence. Approving this proposal means investing directly in the next generation. Our children are Miami's future, and giving them access to inspiring world-class spaces like the Olympia and its tower. Thank you for leading the vision and standing beside SLAM and the families working towards the brighter future for the children in our city.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Janaea Reed with the law firm Stearns Weaver Miller in downtown Miami, and we represent Perez Art Museum Miami in connection with the litigation against the city. The sign at PAM has already been the subject of extensive review by the City Commission and by the public. The sign was approved in 2022 after 2 City Commission meetings and a Planning, Zoning, and Appeals Board meeting, and the issue appeared then on the Commission agenda 8 additional times over a 5-month span in 2024. On January 11th, January 25th, February 8th, February 22nd, March 14th, April 11th, April 25th, and May 23rd with extensive public comment. So the notion that additional public commentary on this issue is needed is incorrect. There's been plenty of public commentary regarding the sign at PAM, and in response, PAM has been a good neighbor for more than a year, voluntarily dimming the sign and turning it off every night at 11 p.m. These voluntary restrictions result in significant loss of revenue, and other signs in the area remain illuminated 24/7. It's a clear disadvantage financially and otherwise, but PAM remains a committed and responsible, respectful community partner. We are here today with one goal, which is to ensure that this litigation gets resolved collaboratively today. A settlement will allow PAM and the city to move forward on mutually acceptable terms and continue the long-standing and positive relationship that the parties enjoyed for many years. But the current settlement offer will expire today after today's meeting. If an agreement cannot be reached, we are prepared to continue litigating, and based on the facts, we are confident we will win. The city will continue to incur substantial legal expense to likely obtain an outcome that will allow the city to operate, the sign to operate continuously without the restrictions and the brightness controls. It's in everyone's interest to turn the page on this dispute and move forward with the settlement. Thank you.
Good morning.
I'm sorry. Good morning. My name is Amaya Machado. I'm a student with Slam Radio, or with Slam, and I'm an executive producer at Slam Radio. To come here today and to speak about something I truly love, like Slam Radio, is an amazing opportunity in itself. But it's also a clear example of everything they teach us. Experiences like this, structure and support are all things Slam Miami provides for its students. I've been able to progress in broadcasting, and it's shown me that there are pathways for me in industries that I would have never considered before. Mr. Milian is my teacher at Slam Radio, and he has taught me that my voice has value. And if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be the young woman I am today. The Olympia Theater Project would be a chance to do the same for students who are just like me and need a safe space to support and help them excel in anything they set their mind to see that we are the future and we are what the world is going to be, so we have a say. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Kern here from 900 Biscayne Boulevard, speaking on CA5. You've all received emails from me on behalf of the 2,000 voters I represent that live in my building, and I'm here to reiterate those concerns. So earlier in the week, I took a walk. I went from the river downtown all the way up to the PAM. So it's 15 blocks. Just went up the east side of Biscayne along Bayfront Park and Maurice Ferre. On that 25-minute walk, I counted 19 digital billboards. This is the kiosks hogging our sidewalks. These are the monstrosities that Commissioner Carollo threw up along Bayfront and Maurice Ferre Park. And finally, the PAM's giant screen. This body has already allowed Orange Barrel Media and other ad companies to turn our public spaces into a private ad gallery. On that walk, I was served more advertisements than had I just spent the same time surfing the internet. It's exhausting and it needs to stop. The city should not legitimize a structure that was built illegally on city land enabled by corrupt legislation. The only legitimate outcome is removal, not a sweetheart deal that rewards the violator. I also want to address some of the comments from those defending PAM's position here, representatives from the PAM, I believe. What other flagship art museum in the world funds itself through massive digital billboards? There's none that I'm aware of. That sign is not a beacon. It's a nuisance to neighbors. It's a dangerous distraction to drivers on an already dangerous stretch of roadway. And it's a stain on our city's skyline. What does it say about Miami as a city when one of its leading cultural institutions, one that claims to nurture the city's youth, resorts to something as crass as this? And what does it say about our city government that instead of defending residents in public space, you are even considering protecting an illegal billboard to appease lobbyists and corporate interests? Please reject this settlement and protect the residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman, and good morning to the Commissioners. My name is Nadir Rivas, and I am currently speaking in favor of PH3. I am currently a student at Slam Miami, and I want to thank you guys for your commitment to education and for creating opportunities that allow students like me to grow. Having a chance to speak with you all today is an honor. At Slam Miami, I've had the opportunity to broadcast my voice on national radio, and that experience has changed my perspective on life. It taught me to have the value of my own voice and give me confidence to speak with knowledge. In class, I've learned life lessons that I'll carry into my future, like the importance of doing things the right way and being able to communicate ideas clearly. The Olympia Project takes all of this to another level. Its history and presence in downtown Miami make it more than just a building. It's a symbol of culture, creativity, and opportunity. Having access to a space like this means that students like me perform, practice in a professional environment. All this while being connected to the heart of our city. The Olympia Theater will not only help us grow our skills, but it will also put many students on a path to greater success. Thank you for supporting education and ensuring that Miami students can have every opportunity to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman King. Horacio Stewart Aguirre is the volunteer chairman for the Miami River Commission, and I'm here to support Commissioner Gabella's resolution regarding manatees. For the record, that's R16. And, Commissioner, like you, I also live on the Miami River, and like every other member of the Miami River Commission and the Miami River District, we truly appreciate the manatees. They're wonderful creatures, they're manatees, they're mammals, they live in families, and they give a great deal to our community. But like you, we also respect the need for employment in the recreational yachting and boating industry. Boating is a family sport. It's a family pastime. It keeps families together. And right now we have a real shortage of facilities for recreational yachting. And recreational boating that is such a big part of our economic engine in Miami. So we support your initiative on this matter, Commissioner. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Peter Homer on behalf of Frost Museum on CA5 on this. I'm outside litigation counsel for Frost Museum. And as you know, the Frost is a nonprofit, unlike PAM, unlike OBM, whose money is really what is driving this. They are purely money-driven at this point. Frost, on the other hand, seeks only to further the public interest. It protects the aesthetics of the arts and the science district. And indeed, it's important for the commission to understand this. Before approaching PAM, OBM proposed to Frost to use its Biscayne Boulevard frontage for a mega sign. Frost, consistent with its educational mission and the Arts District's aesthetics, said no, no deal, even though it would have garnered millions of dollars for that entity. When the city became embroiled in this litigation here, Frost sought to intervene. I did so on behalf of Frost on that. The city agreed to our intervention on that. PAM and their OBM supplied counsel resisted that intervention. Much like their hurry-up approach that they want you to take today on this, PAM and OBM didn't want meaningful resistance on that. I want to stress to you, there is no exigency here that requires you to do this on a hurry-up fashion here. I know they want a desire to do that. The motion for summary judgment briefing was not completed. The motion for summary judgment was not set for hearing at this point. And I'm completely confident in the city's position. I have all the respect in the world for the city attorney's office and what they can accomplish. I've looked at those carefully, those materials on this, and I believe they will prevail. But even if they don't prevail, it's important.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Timothy Barquette, and I represent the Gusman family and the Gusman Foundation. In 2019, Bruce Gusman came to my office with a repair or demolish order that was posted on the theater and the adjacent building and said, Tim, this is enough. It's gone way too far. We need to do something and take this theater back. Bruce, what are we going to do with it? Well, we'll figure that out. So over the last 6 years of litigation, the city of Miami has put out RFPs. We've worked very hard trying to figure out a solution. That was the sentiment when we went to mediation with the city. What are you guys going to do with it? Well, that's what we started working on. And then we came across Matter Academy and SLAM. We visited their campuses. We met with their people. We are so confident that they could do the right thing with this building. We brought SLAM to the city of Miami. We brought it to the mayor, who brought it to you as commissioners. You commissioners were a little skeptical in the beginning. Mr. Pardo had town halls, and there were a lot of people skeptical. But you see the overwhelming support that we have here today. This is a wonderful thing. You see these young students standing up, advocating for this. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to play a sound clip, and I hope it works. That was Maurice Gusman in 1975 when he gave this building to the city of Miami. We want civic use. and we found it, and everybody here should support it. The Karens that aren't supporting us need to close their mouth, open their eyes and ears, and look at this deal, and they too will be convinced it's the right thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on behalf of any item on our agenda? Seeing none, the public comment period is now closed. Gentlemen, we have a long day today. It is 12 o'clock. We have 2 CRA meetings. Can I get you to maybe take a couple of items off of the agenda for now? Is that okay? Okay. Hold on one second. Okay. May I have a motion for pocket item 1 and 2?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. For the CA items, I would assume we want to discuss CA5. So I'm going to put CA5 for discussion. Are there any other items in the CA items that you would like to pull for discussion? We have remaining CA1, 3, and 4.
I'm ready for a motion.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion, unanimous vote for CA 1, 3, and 4 passes. Okay. Of the PH items, gentlemen,
We only have one remaining, right? Which is just PH1?
no, we have PH 1 and we have PH 3, which is a 4/5 vote. Does anyone want to pull any of the PH items?
PH3. I thought we'd already pulled it.
Okay, we're going to pull PH 3. So, may I have a motion for PH 1?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
PH 1 passes. Okay. Are there any items that you would like to pull that remain on the RE items? We have RE2, RE4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Chair, 9 was indefinitely deferred.
Oh, I'm sorry, 10.
RE8, I'm going to defer 8.
You want to defer RE8? I need a
correct.
motion.
Motion.
Can I, second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to defer RE8 to what day?
Next commission meeting. October
9th.
October 9th.
that's fine.
Okay, I have a motion.
And I'd like to pull on RE5, I'd like to discuss.
Okay, let me get this motion done first. I have a motion and a second to defer RE8 to October 9th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Pardo, you'd like to pull RE5 for discussion. Any other?
Yeah, I'd like to pull RE11.
RE11. Okay. RE5 was pulled. RE11 is pulled. We have remaining RE12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. RE5, RE11. RE12,
And I'd like to pull RE15.
RE15.
RE15. Good.
Is that it? Okay, so may I have,
Madam Chair, the city clerk's raising his hand.
And
I know.
just for the record, RE2 as amended.
RE2 as amended, got it. So May I have a motion to pass RE2 as amended, RE4?
What was that amendment? In brief?
So it's my understanding that RE2 will be amended pursuant to a substitution memo dated September 19, 2025.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
Thank you.
again, RE2 as amended, RE4, RE6, RE7, RE10, RE13, 14, 16, and 17. May I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Sorry, but the motion's fine. Could you repeat just the ones that we just, RE2?
Hold on.
4.
Let me go back. 2, 4, 6, 10, 13, 14, 16, and 17.
Thank you.
Chair, I believe
And
RE7 was included in the motion, RE7.
RE7 also passed.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read into the record the titles for the second ordinances?
Yes, Madam Chair. SR1, second reading ordinance. An ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending Chapter 18, Article 4 of the Code of the City of Miami as amended, City Code titled Finance Grants, more specifically by amending Section 18-139 titled Anti-Poverty Initiative established to expand the eligible use of anti-poverty initiative funds by the City of Miami departments, further ensuring that said amendment is incorporated into all API applications and funding request forms going forward, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. SR2, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 35, Article 1 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Codes titled Motorized Vehicles and Traffic in General, specifically by amending Section 35-1 of the City Code titled Definitions to provide a definition for a homestead property, and by establishing a new Section 35-12 of the City Code titled Parking for Homestead Exempt Property, providing for certain allowable parking on a homestead, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. And SR3, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission repealing Section 62-2.2 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Independent Feasibility and Economic Impact Studies, providing for the treatment of pending applications containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Gentlemen, of the second reading items, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to pull 3 and 4.
There's only 3.
FR1, 2, 3, and 4.
No. We're on SR.
Oh, sorry.
We're only on the SRs.
Excuse me. My mistake.
Okay.
I'd like to pull SR2.
Anything else from the SRs? Okay. May I have a motion for SR
Second.
1 and 3? All in favor?
Aye.
Items passes. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read into the record first reading items?
Yes, Madam Chair. First reading ordinance is FR1, first reading, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 10, Article 1, Division 2, Section 10-18 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended. City Code titled Buildings in General, Building Administration, Fees and Waivers, Building Permit Fee Schedule, Waivers, Elevator, Escalator, Boiler, etc. Amending Section 10-18 of the City Code to incorporate current elevator inspection fees, boiler and unfired pressure vessel fees, and fines for noncompliance, providing for severability and providing for an immediate effective date. FR2, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 4 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Administration Departments, adding a new Division 17 to establish the Grants Department, providing for the purpose, authority, and functions of the department, further amending Chapter 18, Article 4 of the City Code, titled finance grants to provide for the acceptance of grant awards to the City of Miami containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR3, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending Chapter 50, Article 4, Section 158 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Ships, Vessels, and Waterway, Miami Vessel Mooring Code Reserve, to allow for vessel anchorage limitations provided by Section 327.60, parentheses 2F3, Florida statutes, in specified areas containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. And FR4, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 14, Article 2 of the Code of the Ordinances of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Code, titled Downtown Development, Downtown District, more particularly by amending Division 1, titled Generally, to define residency in the Downtown Development Authority of the City of Miami, Florida Authority, and by amending Division 2, titled Downtown Development Authority, to amend the composition of the Downtown Development Authority of the City of Miami, Florida Authority, Board of Directors, and various amendments, including but not limited to the authority's definitions, powers, and duties, and removal of members containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. That concludes the first reading ordinances.
I believe, Commissioner Gabello, you want to pull
Yeah, 3 and 4, I got a real quick question.
a quick question or?
Quick question, just want to know how many seats are being up to the residents. So I got the briefing, but I just want to make sure that the public knows that that you've allotted for more
Is that
seats
FR4?
from the residents.
Is that FR4?
It is. It's
Okay.
FR4.
Okay. Do you have an answer?
I do, yes. So we're guaranteeing at least one seat per each of the 3 sub-districts. So one for Brickell, one for the Central Business District, one for the Arts and Entertainment District. And overall, 40% of seats would be for residents, of downtown residents.
So there has been a net gain for the residents.
I'm sorry?
There has been a net gain for the residents of seats.
There has been.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. You also pulled FR3?
FR3, yes.
What's about that? Is that a quick one or a?
Okay, so on the FR3, I understand why we're doing it, but here's the problem. If you make it harder for those guys that live on boats outside the perimeter there of the mooring field, and I know what we're trying to do, my fear is that I don't want to make those guys, because they're way off now, they can't come to shore, now they're homeless. Now we got another guy that, because he can't live on the boat, now we got another guy here that we got to deal with in the street. So that's my concern on that one there. I mean, I'm all for, law and order and, everything clean. But my only fear is that, some of these guys that are living out there, they're living out there for a reason, because they can't, they can't afford rent, and they live on their boats, you know what I mean? And if you're going to get them, I think we have a limit now of 100 feet. I've been briefed on this, and now it's 300 feet. Do we really want to make it impossible for those guys then to have nowhere to go? And then we got more of a homeless, situation going on? Just saying, my 2 cents worth, but, and so I'm concerned with this, what we're trying to do.
So Marine Patrol has been really instrumental with this, and this mimics an existing ordinance in the city of Miami Beach that was passed by Commissioner David Suarez, and it's really aimed at derelict vessels. We have a very big problem with vessels that are just left there, and it costs tens of thousands of dollars to remove them and deal with them. So this is actually much better for enforcement. Marine Patrol's 100% behind it. And of course, we sponsored it. We think it's a good idea.
Do you think, Commissioner, that we can amend it to say if we, in fact, certify that the vessel is derelict, then we take it, but if there's somebody living on the vessel, then...
I mean, they're not there kicking people out of the vessel. They're trying to enforce a 300-foot barrier anchoring outside, making sure that they are outside of the mooring field. So I'll defer to the city attorney. Maybe you can...
Well, so the statute and or the Miami Beach ordinance, as Commissioner Pardo and Gabella both said, that it extends, right now it's illegal to moor a vessel within 100 feet of a managed mooring field. State law permits us to extend that to 300 feet. Actually, state law extended it to 300 feet. We could opt out.
For that reason.
And so there's another provision of the state law, which are ordinance tracks, which says that if you moor your vessel for more than 30 days between the hours of sunrise and sunset, or actually it's sunset to sunrise, then we can remove that vessel. But it's not earmarked towards a derelict vessel per se. It includes both boats that are just moored there and boats that are moored there for the purposes of living aboard. So it will affect both type of boaters.
Okay, so how about, do you guys want to defer FR3?
Yeah, let's go ahead and defer it
Just so we could get more
to the
information?
next meeting, and that way.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get.
I know what you're trying to do, and I commend it. I just want to make sure that the wrong people don't get.
So may I have a motion to defer FR3 to?
Second.
FR3 to the
October 9th.
October 9th?
Yes.
October 9th meeting.
First meeting in October.
Okay. So now may I have a motion for FR1, FR2, and?
I'm sorry. Was there a vote on the motion to defer?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay, unanimous, understood.
Yes. So may I have a motion for FR1, 2, and FR4?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And FR4 is amended pursuant to a substitution memo dated September 24, 2025.
Yes, as amended. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read into the record the title of the PZ items?
Yes, Madam Chair. The remaining PZ items are PZ2, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending ordinance number 10544 as amended, the future land use map of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan, pursuant to small-scale amendment procedures subject to Section 163.3187 Florida statutes by changing the future land use designation from medium-density multifamily residential to restricted commercial of the acreage described herein of real property at 175 Northeast 55th Street, Miami, Florida, and the western portion of 184 Northeast 56th Street, Miami, Florida, all is more particularly described in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, making findings and providing for an effective date. PZ3, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, Miami 21 Code, by changing the zoning transect of the western portion of the property, bifurcated by two transect zones located at 184 Northeast 56th Street, Miami, Florida, from T4R, General Urban Transect Zone restricted, to T50 Urban Center Transect Zone open, and the property generally located at 175 Northeast 55th Street from T4R, General Urban Transect Zone restricted, to T50 Urban Center Transect Zone open, more particularly described in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, making findings, containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. PZ6, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Miami 21 Code, as amended by changing the zoning classification from T5L Urban Center Zone limited to T50 Urban Center Zone open of the property generally located at 349 Southwest 12th Street, 375 Southwest 15th Road, 1109 and 1131 Southwest 4th Avenue, and 364 Southwest 11th Street, Miami, Florida, more particularly described in Exhibit A, making findings, containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. And finally, PZ7, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, Miami 21 Code, by changing the zoning classification from T50 Urban Center Transect Zone open to T680 Urban Core Transect Zone open for the property generally located at 710 Southwest 16th Avenue, Miami, Florida, is more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings, containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Gentlemen, any of the PZ items you would like to pull for discussion? They can't hear you.
I'm saying that it is now a quarter after, and I'm sure that we want a full board for the CRA.
He hasn't, it's on. They say they still can't hear you. It's not working. Right, it's not working.
It's not working. Well, now it is. Now it is. Thank God I'm not in the United Nations. But
If we could go to the CRA items and then take up the rest of the meeting in the afternoon. We're past noon. I have an engagement that I can't miss.
Well, let's take these PZ items up first. Does anyone have want to pull these items? Any PZ items? Anybody?
And I believe the planning director needs to state an amendment for the record regarding PZ3.
Mr. Planning Director.
Yes. So for PZ3, the applicant has requested both the property covenant, restricted covenant for the rezone of the property. In that covenant, they specify changing the designation of the T5O to T5L. So that is something that the commission will need to consider.
As amended. Okay. So may I have a motion for PZ 2, 3,
Move.
6, and 7?
Second. As amended, does the director have any objections to that amendment?
No objections.
Okay.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Items passes. Gentlemen, we have a long day today. The only items remaining on our agenda are one discussion item, and we have 2 CRA meetings, a shade meeting, and our budget meeting.
By the way, there's one in the back. Can we pass that now? It's an easy one. FL?
Oh, it's just for information.
Oh, okay.
Just read it. We don't have to pass it.
Right.
Okay. So what is the pleasure of the team? Do you want to break, do the CRA meetings, and then get the rest of this? I would propose that we do the remainder of this,
Well,
say 4 o'clock.
if we could do the CRA, because we always break, it's our tradition.
Right, so that's
by
what I'm
noon.
saying. If we do the CRA meetings, then we break, and we come back like 4 o'clock, because we have to be here at 5 o'clock
Right.
for the budget meetings.
Okay.
If we could cover the rest, except one, if you could just indulge me, I know if it's not controversial, if we could approve RE5, the employment agreement for our Inspector General. If that's controversial and you need a lot of discussion.
I don't think we'll need a lot of discussion, maybe not, but there are some areas that we need to bring up. I think Commissioner Pardo asked for that to be pulled. So
Okay,
maybe we
all
can
right,
bring it
so,
back.
okay, we'll do that after.
And Madam Chair, we have a shade meeting.
And a shade meeting, so.
So are we got 2 contentious items to deal
Right,
with.
so no, we're not going through those. What I'm saying is we break now, take up our CRA meetings, and then we break until 4 o'clock. We have a shade meeting.
And we'll all be back at 4 o'clock, the 5 of us, everybody's
Yes.
participating?
Well, you guys got to show up for the budget hearing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so do we agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. The commission meeting is now in recess. We will resume at 4 o'clock. And we're going to have the Southeast Overtown Park West CRA meeting and the Omni CRA meeting. Afternoon. Welcome to the Southeast Overtown Park West CRA meeting for September 25th, 2025. I am your chair, Christine King. I am joined with my executive director, Mr. James D. McQueen, and our deputy director, Mr. Vincent T. Brown, along with my colleagues, Commissioner Carollo, Commissioner Rosado, Commissioner Gabella, and Commissioner Pardo. At this time, I'm going to ask our deputy director to read the items that are before us today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first item for consideration is a resolution appointing James E. McQueen as the executive director for the Southeast Overtown Park West CRA. The second resolution is a resolution with attachments authorizing the executive director to donate equipment described in Exhibit A to Urchin Inc. as surplus property no longer suitable for CRA use. Item number 3 is a resolution authorizing the executive director to accept a donation in the amount of $30,000 from the Coffin Lynn Construction Company, a Florida for-profit corporation, to be used for non-tax increment financing purposes. Article 3 is a resolution with attachments authorizing the executive director to negotiate and execute the development agreement in substantially the same form as attached in Exhibit A with Core Rock Developers and the disposition of CRA property at a below market rate furtherance of the development on 12th Avenue Affordable Housing Development Project located at 1141 Northwest 3rd Avenue, 242 Northwest 12th Street, 234 Northwest 12th Street, and 224 Northwest 12th Street, all in Miami, Florida, further allocating and appropriating proceeds from the Series 2025 bond issuance in an amount not to exceed $15 million. Item number 5 is a resolution with attachments by 4/5 vote, ratifying, approving, and confirming executive director's recommendation and findings that competitive negotiations and methods and procedures are not practicable or advantageous, waiving the requirements for competitive bidding, approving a grant request in the amount of $325,000 to Ben Dixon and Amati International, a Florida for-profit corporation, to underwrite critical costs associated with the expansion of Howard University to the CRA development area. Item number 6 is a resolution authorizing the executive director to engage William Bloom as special counsel to the Community Redevelopment Agency to handle complex real estate and development transactions.
At this time, I'm going to open the floor for public comment. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on any items that are on this agenda? Seeing none, public comment period is closed. Gentlemen, are there any items on this agenda that you would like to pull for discussion?
Yeah, I'm thinking about number 1. No, I'm just kidding.
We have rifts today, Mr. McQueen?
Commissioner, at 6 o'clock today, I will be providing ribs and fixings during your meeting this evening, okay?
Okay, Mr. McQueen. I guess we can move forward.
Ma'am?
I do have a question. Let's see, which is the one here? Okay, and item 5, I think it is. This is for Ben Dixon Amandi, not Ben Dixon Amandi, Little Billy Corbin too, right?
No, little Billy Corbin is involved in this at all.
Okay, that you know.
Yeah, well, if I found out little Billy was involved, then it wouldn't be on the agenda.
All right, my only other question is, look, I don't think anybody here would not be in agreement that, we could certainly use Howard University to come down to the CRA area, and that the economic impact and feasibility will be there. I'm just wondering on the amount that we're paying for this study, if it could be less. It's a lot of money for something that we all know how it's going to come back.
Let me explain the item just a little bit. What we are going to try to do is not going to be limited to Howard University. Once we started talking about this study, we found that there are state universities, Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, that are also interested, and local universities, FIU, Florida Memorial. So this will not be limited. We're really looking toward having, for lack of a better term, a campus of universities. And I will go back and talk with the people at the consulting firm and see if we can get them to adjust the amount. And I'll bring it back at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right?
That's fine.
May I have a motion
Move.
for RE 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6?
Second.
I have a motion and a
Chair,
second.
my
All in-
apologies. So we're going to pass item number 5 today, or do you want to defer that?
No.
No,
He
Pass.
passed. He'll bring it back if he could get a better deal.
Understood.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Thank you all for your advocacy. This concludes the Southeast Overtown Park West CRA meeting for September 25, 2025.
And I'll see you at 6 o'clock.
Congratulations, Mr. McQueen.
Thank you so much.
And at this time, the clerk's going to turn the tape so we can begin the Omni CRA meeting.
We're good to go. Chair Pardo, you may begin.
Yep. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm calling to order the September 25th, 2025 Omni CRA meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for the July 24th, 2025?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Madam Executive Director, please briefly read into the agenda CRA resolutions 1 through 4. Into the record.
Good afternoon. The first item is a resolution of the Omni CRA authorizing the issuance of a grant in an amount not to exceed $741,905 to the Miami Downtown Development Authority to continue services of the Downtown Enhancement Team and providing for an increase in the hourly rate of pay and personnel providing job skills training and opportunities in the Omni CRA area. Item 2 is a resolution of the Omni CRA with attachments by a 4/5 affirmative vote authorizing the Executive Director to negotiate and execute amendments to the Economic Incentive Agreement, Forgivable Project Loan Agreement, Rent Regulatory Agreement, and supporting documents, all in forms accessible to General Counsel, to allocate additional funding in an amount not to exceed $12 million contingent upon the issuance of the CRA's Tax Increment Revenue Bond Series 2026 for the mixed-use and mixed-income project located at the addresses listed in the item. Item 3 is a resolution rescinding resolution number CRA-R-210038 adopted on October 22nd, 2021 in its entirety, authorizing by a 4/5 affirmative vote an amount not to exceed $150,000 to Miami Homes for All, Inc. to provide housing incentives and technical assistance initiatives for small and emerging developers within the CRA area and requiring a match in the amount not to exceed $300,000 from the grantee. Item 4 is a resolution of the Omni CRA authorizing the Executive Director to initiate an activation of approximately 945 square feet of retail and or commercial space located at 2035 North Miami Avenue, the property known as Wynwood Works, for temporary use as an art and exhibition space open to the public, authorizing the Executive Director to develop guidelines for the temporary use of the property by artists and cultural organizations, authorizing the collection of fees for cleaning and damages incurred during the activation period.
Thank you. The public comment period is now open for all items on today's agenda. Okay. Seeing no further public comment on the agenda items, is there any discussion amongst board members? Okay. Can I have a motion?
Move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you for being here today. Meeting is adjourned.